That interaction. Yes, because women are not people, and they are unable to consent when they are inebriated. That is correct. That is what that means. So if you believe that, like it's so dumb, like you're like they essentially think you're a child, right? That's what it is. You become a child when intoxicated, and men are only the ones responsible. It's like the dumbest shit ever. So it looks like the temperature's coming down pretty good. Excellent. Excellent. Now all I need to do is make it bigger, which is going to be problematic. I'm going to have to move it anyway, so I'm not really super whatever. I'm probably going to make this one bigger because I need to make it taller so I can... How big can the farm be? Hang on a second. Greenhouse. 96. I really hate the maximum tile thing for some of these because they're so tiny. But yeah, it's essentially if you believe that women can't consent, then you believe they're children when they're drunk. It's absolutely ridiculously stupid. I actually lost my train of thought there. I forgot what I was saying. Dang it. Just lucky it's gross. The men have to deal with the double standard. Yes, and especially having to deal with the double standard for... especially having to deal with the double standard for... God, what is it called? Where you have adult relations with a underage person. Statutory, yeah. That shit bothers the fuck out of me. To no end. To no end. Okay. How we doing here? We doing good? Why? Oh yeah, because I've been going so slow, and I've been building so many other things down here. They haven't actually gotten any of that. Oh boy. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to make this bigger so I can put a light in there. And 96 tiles? This might be okay. I'm actually gonna go to bed now, stuck around for the interesting topic. Thanks for the input. My dude, it's been a pleasure. Take it easy, bud. But yeah, that interaction was absolutely insane. And luckily our captain that was in charge recognized what was going on and made sure that she was properly informed that he understood what was going on and that she was not gonna continue to be able to abuse her fellow sailors in that way. Because apparently he had done all the other mastings for all the other dudes that she had put sexual assault against. This is the thing that kills me about sexual assault in the military, is that in the Navy, at least, if you were accused, you go straight to mass. There is no, at least in school there was. This is kind of how it was. It was like, there was no investigation by NCIS. There was none of that shit. It was basically within the next day or two, you're in court defending yourself to the captain. Because like 2 days after she filed the complaint, I was testifying to the captain. And so I got to see the whole damn proceeding. And he still got masted. He still got reduced in rate. He still got denuked. He got kicked out of the nuclear power program. He got freaking demoted from an E4 to an E3, even though he did nothing wrong. So yeah. Have a screw list. Yeah, and the thing about it is that basically he said if you ever make another SA claim here again, one, I'm not going to believe you, and two, I'm gonna kick you out of the Navy. That's what he said. And it's like, so you've basically cried wolf enough that you're done. But there was nothing that he could do at the moment to be able to like do anything about it. Which is, and it's because even gods, known as captains in the Navy, still have a higher power that they must appeal to? Machinery, creativity. What do I need? What do I need? Let me see. I don't have a really good doctor, but I really don't give a fuck about that. Cooking, we got a couple cooks. We only got one decorator, but I mean, he's okay. He's okay. It's not too bad. I'm gonna need more researchers eventually. Once I get the geo stuff going on, we got a ton of operators, so that's good. Holy shit, dude! I didn't actually like prioritize him at all. Whoops. Well, operating is what you doing, boy. And then we got farming. So you're my farmer. Let's see here. SBS. If she had multiple planes against multiple minutes, she's yes. And that was the thing. But the thing about it is you got to realize that because of the good old boys club that used to exist and how a lot of this shit got swept under the rug, it was basically out of his hands, right? It's all up to upper command, and if they review every single one of those, and if he does anything that's outside of the parameters of the protocol, then he could get in trouble, or he would get in trouble, and it would happen anyway, and he would have a mark against him. So if he didn't do it, it would get done anyway. Dude, like, there was nothing the dude could do. And this is why I didn't mess with any girls at all when I was in the military. Except for one. And I regretted that too. So, and luckily enough, it was one of those deals where how many to prevent further overpopulation? Yeah, it was one of those deals where it was so ambiguous that there was no way I was going to be that anything like that would happen. I made absolutely sure of that. I was scared to death of that shit. Now that is a doctor. Dude, I have been getting dudes that are like, oh, you have, 15 construction, and then it's like down here, you're horrible at construction, -5. It's just like, God damn it. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's a shit show. Absolute shit show. Finally, Meep has Metatronics engineering, but he can't construct the thing worth a damn. So, yay! I mean, at least I can make it, right? You're 11 of 7. Ooh, true suit training. I don't have any suits right now. You know what was really cool? I had oxygen masks. All of this down here used to be full of carbon dioxide, and so to dig all this shit out, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put up an oxygen mask thing right here, and everybody just went. It was such a cool early game, suit wearing thing. I was like, this is awesome. This is so awesome. But we're definitely gonna need to expand out here soon. So we got coal there, rust, lots of coal. Of course, around freaking chlorine. Yeah, like I said, that's one of the things you just don't have to deal with when you're in the How can you be satisfied when you have no food? These boys will starve, right? I should probably put a heater in here. Games like this are always fun. I spent 4 hours earlier playing a demo for Cthulhu-themed city builder. Oh, that sounds pretty good. I can't wait to try this freaking... I don't know what you would call it, but it's a turn-based strategy game, but it looks like it's more like Baldur's Gate 3 than XCOM, or like a CRPG. Let me see. Display capture, and then we're gonna let's get rid of that. Un momento, por favor. There we go. Yeah, this bad boy. Shadow of the Road. This thing looks so cool. And the reason is because, one, Nippon, Japan. I really like Japanese culture. I'm not a weeboo by any stretch of the imagination, but I could definitely see a universe where I was. This shot really got me. This one really got me. I was like, ooh, okay, all right. I'm interested now. Definitely interested. The giant mech in like 1875 too is pretty cool. I don't know why he has 3 swords, but you know, it's no big deal. The thing that really, really got me was this.
When
this is their trailer.
Okay. I often sneaked out of the village.
And you know, it's like, oh, you got some running through the world elements and stuff like that. So it's not really like an XCOM style thing. This is what got me right here. The concerning thing is all the combat. It doesn't look very, it's like they're only doing the actions. They're not showing anything else. This right here, it's like too many games are just, I don't want to say gay, because that's not really what it boils down to. They're weak. They're not masculine at all. Because you could be gay and be masculine. There's no way around that. I've known many a buff meatheads that were gay. They were very fun. So, but there's just not, like, games today feel like they just do not ooze machismo. They are not made for me. I am not the target audience. This game feels like I'm the target audience. This is the trailer. This is not just in the game. This is the trailer. This is like, hey, do you like this kind of thing? Wilder Myth? Yeah, Wilder Myth is pretty cool. Wilder Myth is pretty good. I really, really like it. And it's like this is the height of Shogun Samurai era, like 1850, man. That's really when the samurai were at their peak, I guess it was. Because you got to remember that Japan basically existed in a feudal state for hundreds upon hundreds of years, longer than Europe did. Like, we had advanced steam power before they even, like, got any of that stuff. That was mostly their choice, though, so, you know. But it looks really, really cool. And I'm really, really interested in it because it looks fucking cool. It is definitely a game I want to give a go. Because it's, like I said, it's like very few games today feel like I'm the target audience. Like they're not made for me. They're made for a modern audience, whatever the fuck that means. Okay, I think we can build that now. Excellent. So it's 78 tiles, max is 64. So if we do this, boom, there it goes. Now it's 57 tiles. So as soon as we get that done, we should be able to. Moderate injuries. Is that not a hospital? It is. Why are they not going to, if they've got moderate injuries, why are they not going to? Not assigned to triage. I don't have to assign you. What? 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 I'm so confused. There are several guys that are injured, I'm sure. A lot of people got scalded in the water. So let's do sweep. And do not hit that. Okay. Sweet. Now that should stop here in just a second. Yeah, like I said, it really does feel like there's like I said, I'm just not the target audience anymore, and so I don't like care about those games at all. Why would I? Oh, thank God that I did not do that. Yeah, and I mean, it's this thing where females, you being a female, so correct me if I'm wrong. And the thing about it is, it's like I know many girls, females, who love games that are masculine, where they are. Oh no, that's okay. Hang on. I've done something really bad here. Oh no, I've been just dumping straight water. Oh, that sucks, dude. Okay, we need to do this like immediately. Do I not have anybody that can do this? Where's the thing? There it is. Well, that sucks. So, okay, let's just fix it. I don't know how much water I just dumped into the waste bin down there. Doesn't look like too much, but that's still too much. Follow us into chasing treasure hunters around, but also love playing a lot of boy games. Yeah, but it's not necessarily boy games. It's yeah. Like I said, it's like, because there are a lot of, like WoW, for instance, is a perfect example. I knew plenty of females that actually played it back in the day when it first came out, and video games were for fucking boy nerds, you know what I'm saying, and just nerds in general. And it was more of a, male hobby, as it were. And there were plenty of women who played because they were also nerds. And it's like, you can make games with masculinity in it, and it still attract a female audience, especially if you have hot chicks in it. Yeah. And especially if you have activities in the game that more women than men like those activities. Because there's still plenty of men that'll do it, but it might also attract the female audience as well. So you don't have to demasculinize a game, and you don't have to avoid the male gaze completely in a game to attract females. Like I feel like that's like a myth, right? Because there's always been females in D&D. There's always been females in every thing that's male dominated. It's just the reason there are not as many is because most women are not as interested in those kinds of things, especially because they're not, especially back in the day when we had them, is because they weren't as popular. You were considered a loser if you played D&D, right? You were a loser if you played WoW. When it first, or not WoW when it first came out, EverQuest. WoW, you stopped being a loser because they made it cool, so fair enough. People should also not just assume men don't like games like Stardew Valley or Sims. Exactly. You are exactly correct. What is that? What can you... Hang on. I did not realize my green wasn't low enough. There we go. Oh, it's because my arm was blocking it. Ha 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 ha. So I don't understand why he can't just come here by himself. Why do I have to do it for him? Ineligible. Oh, it's a oh, okay. So how do I make them heal if they won't go to the fucking bed? I'm so confused. I remember this not being a big deal. I remember this not being a big deal. Why is Jean allowed to do this? Jean has no doctoring skill. Oh, it's the threshold. That's why. There we go. Okay. So... do I really have to do it myself? That is so stupid. Yeah, that is kind of dumb. I'm not gonna lie. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, I have enough there. Good. Allowed to like things they like. Yeah, and it's, I don't think it's ever really been the problem is that you're not allowed to like things that you like. I think what's been the problem is that like, why? What the fuck are you doing? Oh my god! Like, she just will not get in the fucking bed. Ah! There we go. Okay. An asshole. I think it's less about that people are allowed to like what they like, and the fact that it's become a shitty meme. Bro, have I still been dumping water? Are you kidding me? Like, home slizzle, what are you doing? Okay. Okay. There we go. Holy shit. All right, there we go. All right. Anyway, it's that a lot of the big modern companies think it's immoral to make games for men, where white men are their target audience, and they do use the race. Yes, they do, because, you know, they're fucking racists. Always got to be racist. And so it's one of those deals where, like, they think it's immoral to, you know, not make game. It's just like with the Acolyte, the Star Wars, the newest Star Wars thing that just came out, or Rings of Power, or any of those. They got to make it. They got to make it lame and gay, essentially. Right? You can't have female heroic characters that are not, what's the word? Girl bosses. There you go. And, you know, if you put those same traits on a dude, you would consider them an absolute asshole. Kind of deal. It's the weirdest thing, dude. The weirdest. It's actually fairly warm over here, so I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to turn this off. How we doing on coal? We're doing pretty good. How these idiots make games and think people want Dustborn. Oh, you've seen Dustborn, have you? Yeah, where it literally says, we're coming to invade your space. Like, dude, it's like, are you just trying to prove all the racists right? Is that what you're doing? You want them to be right? To justify everything that they're saying? Because that's what it sounds like you're doing. Did you know that game was government funded? That they got a grant from the government to make that? And do you want to know why they got a grant from the government? Because they were non-white, Lame and gay, that's why. Because of course they are. Because the people that are running this stupid shit are all racists, they're all sexist, they're all homophobes, because they believe all of the bad bullshit, and so they have to make up for all that bad bullshit by doing the exact opposite. Because they have the same worldview as the bigots, because they're bigots. But they feel bad about being a bigot, so they overcompensate, right? One doth protest too much, as it were. You know, all the like ultra Christian dudes who are so homophobic it's not even funny, and they all turned out to be, and most of them turned out to be closet homosexuals. Yeah, that kind of shit. Okay, it looks like I fixed it. Yay. Why is your morale low, buddy? What are you doing? What are you doing? Here, have some decor. There you go, friend. There you go. No need to feel bad. Tango's got your back. It was released as satire, it would have been better received. Dude, the fact that you can literally be triggered and call someone racist is just... like, I thought it was satire when I saw it. I was like, oh, this is great. They're making fun of this shit. And it's like, no, they're being serious. In 20 years, that will be a satire game. Guaranteed, man. Guaranteed. It will be a satire game. Where is this egg at? Oh, it's right there? Oh, we can't reach it. I see. Like, it probably will. Yeah, trigger, guys. It's so stupid, man. Like, I can't believe it. It's so ridiculous. Where is my decorator? He is doing cooking first. So let's do decorating first. We got several cooks, so he needs to go decorate. So I can get my great hall going on. Fancy. Oh, it has to have a recreational building inside as well. Okay, so we deconstruct. What recreational building do I have? Jukebox. Okay, let's throw a jukebox in here. Yeah, we'll deconstruct these. There we go. Play victim, of course. That's exactly what you do. See, the problem is that it's not that woke makes bad games. That's not really what it is. The problem is that when you're woke, you're a religious zealot. That's the problem. And when you're a religious zealot, you cannot perceive any other way to see the world other than the way your religion tells you to. And so when you make movies and when you make any kind of art as a religious zealot, it's always going to be shitty to people who do not share your worldview. And even many people who do share your worldview will find it shitty. They'll just lie about it because, you know, the politics or the religion matters more than the truth. So this is why when you have video games or movies or any kind of art that is made by like Christian fundamentalists, like all the Left Behind movies, they could have been absolutely astounding. The books were actually quite good from what I hear. I didn't read them because I don't care. But the fact of the matter is that they could have been something great. But instead, because they were made by religious zealots, acted by religious zealots, and produced by religious zealots, what do you think it came out as? Religious garbage. Like almost all of them have poor acting, they have poor writing, and the story is bad, the costume design is bad, like almost cinematography is bad. Almost everything about the movie is either mediocre or subpar. And this is what happens when you do this is what is exactly happening with modern Hollywood because they went woke. Is they're all religious zealots, so they're all doing this thing where they do not hire based on talent, they hire based on demographics and whether or not you profess their religion or not. And when you do that, it limits you on the scope and scale and ability of the things that you produce. So you can have the best screenwriter in the world, but if he's a white dude, they're not going to hire him. Because they're racists and sexists. So, yeah. You could have, or they're straight, or any number of bullshit reasons like that. Or the fact that maybe it's a guy like me who considers themselves an independent, and I don't prescribe to either religion. I mean, you can even get, you know, people who would be technically on the same side, on the left, or Democrats or whatever. But if you don't profess the religion hard enough, if you're not, you know, anybody can, you know, trans women are women, and anybody can identify as trans, and you're a bigot if you don't want cartoon books that depict sex acts between children, or excuse me, if you don't want books in libraries, in middle school libraries, that depict sex acts with children, and if you don't want that, then you're a bigot, and you can't be in our movie. You can't do anything. That's just how it is. And so it's like, what more can you do other than just be like, okay, well, your art sucks. So, and the problem is that it's just like with the Christian movies. If you tell them it sucks, they'll call you names, and they'll use their religion as a shield against criticism, right? So if you say, you know, the Rings of Power sucks, or the Acolyte sucks because it's lame and gay, well, then they throw out, you know, racist, sexist, homophobe, you know, you're a bigot, blah, 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 instead of actually addressing any of the criticism, right? Why would you address any of the criticism when every organ of the government and of cultural power will support and back you? All the reviewers will want, like, did you see what the reviewer said about the Rings of Power, the first few episodes, or the first few episodes of Acolyte? And it's like I said, it's like, imagine if the roles were, the Acolyte had freaking Christian overtones in it, and there was a story about Jesus, but not real Jesus, you know, like in the Star Wars universe. And it had the same subpar story, subpar acting, with the exception of that Chinese dude. Like, good on you, bro. Learned English for that role. I'm so sorry it had to be the Acolyte. I'm so sorry, dude. You deserve better, man. You really do. Squid Game, like his acting in Squid Game was really good. And as someone who wants to be an actor, I really appreciate that kind of thing. And so, imagine it was that, and then you tell them, hey, your shit sucks, I don't like it, it's lame and it's gay, and they're like, oh, well, you must hate Christians, oh, you're a Christian phobe, you're a bigot because you don't, you know, you're blah blah blah, you know, any of that stupid shit, you know, you hate Jesus, you hate God. It's like, come on, bro. Nobody would take that shit seriously today, because 30 years ago, the non-Christian fundamentalists, so everybody who's not a Christian fundamentalist, won the culture war, because Christians who weren't lame and gay allied with atheists and everybody else who was just kind of whatever, and we all said, yeah, that shit sucks, get that out of here. And so no one would take anybody seriously if no one would take a person seriously if they use that kind of rhetoric to shit on someone who was criticizing any kind of art that was Christian in nature. Like, it would be, everybody, they would laugh you. They would laugh at you so hard it wouldn't even be funny. Emasculated the orcs. Oh my god, dude. No, they didn't just emasculate the orcs. Do you know why they emasculated the orcs? Like, do you truly understand the depths of depravity as to why the orcs are they did what they did? Think about it like this. Tolkien was in World War I. So this guy had this guy had seen the like gamut of human depravity, and you know, from the goodest of good to the evilest of evil. He was very aware of the humanity of individuals. Obviously, if you read the books, you would know this. The problem is that all the religious zealots that I've been talking about, they believe, for some fucking reason, that orcs are stand-ins for black people. So, if you're a religious zealot, and your religion says that you must uplift the marginalized and oppress those people who you believe are at the top of the hierarchy, that would be white straight men, most likely, and just white people in general. So what that means is, if you have this racist allegory for a marginalized group like orcs that they believe are are the equivalent to black people, then what you have to do is that you have to humanize them in that way. Otherwise, it would be racist. So, and the proof is in the pudding. If you remember the Will Smith TV show Bright, that's exactly what the orcs were in that. And I don't know where it actually came from, who the first person was to say orcs were black people, but I have to imagine that it's because of the reason the orcs exist is they were essentially an anti-civilization metaphor, because they're all male, they're evil, and all they want to do is basically corrupt and steal everything. That's essentially what their entire archetype is all about. Missing fancy decor item. That's not a fancy decor item? Maybe the ice block will work? I mean, it's -6. I really don't want to put an ice block in here. But it, you know, could try. And that's the thing, is that if you remember in the TV show, all the orcs were listening to hip hop, they were playing basketball, they're doing all the things that are culturally associated with American black people. And this is because the religious zealots known as American progressives, some of the most illiberal people on the planet, view orcs as an allegory for black people. And I imagine it's because of how marginalized they are in like Tolkien and all these other things, because everybody wants to kill them. But the point of them is not to align them to a race. Tolkien was British. They didn't view race in the American way, right? They viewed race in the European and rest of the world way, where everybody is all kinds of different ethnicities. Because like if you interact with anybody from the United Kingdom, there's 5 different countries on the British Isles, right? And they all hated one another and killed each other at some point, and that's why they're all the way they are now, right? They got over that shit, and so it's one of the. So like I said, I imagine it's because you take that American mindset of race, and then you look at all the stories throughout the Western ethos, right? And then orcs are this example that often come up because of Tolkien, right? Just like elves and dwarves are as well. And so the hobbits are an allegory for the English. I forget who the elves are an allegory for, the dwarves as well. But the orcs were never any actual race of people. They were an anti-civilization force. It's the barbarians at the gates. It doesn't matter who the barbarians are, because think about it like this. Most barbarian hordes are basically full of young, unmarried men who want to go out and conquer shit, because where their home is, they can't get anything because all the people in power basically kick the ladder out from under them, because they live in these like autocratic, theocratic regimes, right? Islam is a great example of this, of how you could have multiple wives, and so most all of the women were taken up by all the rich dudes, and so you have all these young men who are of fighting age, and they have nothing. They can't get anything because all of the entire system of government and the entire system of economy is basically stacked against them to prevent them from going anywhere. And so one of the best ways to get rid of this male population is to literally send them to go conquer other people. And so most of them will die in the process, which thins the herd, which helps the rich people out. And then the others will find their riches far and abroad. And it will actually make the rich people in the country that wants to conquer other people, it'll make those rich people richer, because they'll get slaves, they'll get treasure, because of course, most of the treasure belongs to them, and they'll give some to the little guys, of course, because, why not? That'll keep them on side, right? And so you have this like huge dynamic of basically sacrificing large portions of your population over and over and over again. And I believe this is one of the reasons why Islam was able to spread the way it did so easily and so quickly, is because of this mentality, as well as the fact that dying in service to Islam gives you paradise. So. Exactly, they're not any one race or ethnicity, right? Evil, yep. That's essentially all they are, is just a representation of evil, yes. Alright, now, is the temperature going down on the ice block? Nice, Great Hall, lovely. So, I don't have any research. That's bad. Is the blank canvas considered? Oh, I don't have the ability to make it. I need the stuff. So I mean, I guess we could do the you know what? Let's do the metal block. Yeah. Let's do this one and then we'll research some other stuff. The metal block should be a fancy decor item, because I don't really want to keep the ice block. Because that's not great. That's not great. Wrangle you up. How are we doing here? Groomed, happy, tame, lovely. How much bigger can we make this? 69 tiles. I can make it much, much bigger. Yeah, I should not have built this up here. But I needed to do something. I mean, I could just do something like this, get rid of that, and then. So how much more how much bigger can I make this freaking thing? Yeah, it really bothers me of the fact that so many people are on board with all, because like on board with all the woke shit because of how should I put this? How racist and sexist it all actually is, and how much it allows a certain group of people who've always existed to stand on their moral high horse and be evil to people who are not as moral as they are. You saw this with the Christians, with conservative Christians in the United States, all throughout the 1900s, especially when like rock and roll and shit was taken off, and you know, all throughout the 60s through like the 90s when they were really pushing the, you know, modesty everywhere. You know, you shouldn't allowed to cuss in public and all this other stupid shit. You know, you get fired if you're an atheist. You can't be a teacher if you're an atheist, or God forbid you're gay, right? And so it really feels like, wait, can you have industrial equipment in this room? Like if I were to do this, so those people always existed. And so you have these individuals who are shitty people, and they have found a way to take their shitty attitude and the way they want to treat people, their bad attitude. You know, it's basically they want to treat people badly because it makes themselves feel good, and they can also feel good about the fact that they're morally justified in doing so. D&D, indeed. Did you decide to restart or start better? Yes, master. I did indeed. D&D? What do you mean D&D, Jigtoppus? Oh yeah, with the Christian right, D&D. Yeah. Them, you know, worshiping the devil. Like, it's so dumb too. Like Diablo. I remember back in the day, my mom asking me about that game, and she was like, because I played Diablo, and she's not like I like her. She's not. Wow, that was a stutter. She was not a Christian in the normal sense. I don't know what the she was, but she was not a Christian in the normal sense. Why is there water all? I don't understand this. They're all insulated piping. Is the water too hot? I'm so confused as to why I keep getting water. It's all, like, it's not breaking here, and the water is still, you know, 70 fucking degrees. I'll tell you what's weird. That is weird. Look at that. 78. No. That's grams. It's at 0.7 Celsius. Yeah, it's an insulated piping. So Coming in at 34 is pretty good. I guess it's because it's not being used, but it's still above freezing. Well, that one's not. I could just disconnect this one. Maybe that's where it's leaking, because this is at 1C, so it shouldn't be freezing. Are both of these disabled? No. Hang on. We found something. So that's at -2, but it's not breaking the pipe. No, it's at 8C. What am I talking about? Yeah, look. The water on the floor is -2C. You pay attention to world traits this time? Yes, I did. Fuck. I forgot to do this. I was gonna snatch this as... This is a great idea. I'll do it right now. So, let me turn this off. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so let's... Image 3. Where is it? Gallery. Yeah, we'll throw it there. Are you kidding me? I just... What the fuck? Dude, sometimes, I swear to God, I fucking cannot stand this shit. There it is. Frickin' A, dude. Alright. That should be good right there. Bam. That's the seat. Okay. Cool. Alright, there we go. And wants to prevent constant switching back and forth. The reason it actually doesn't go to 70, it's at 34 when it's here. So it heats up, it cools down as it moves. Right? Because I definitely don't want it to be 70 degrees coming out of the freaking faucet. That would be insane. But that's at 70C for some reason. 56, 12. Yeah, what the fuck is going on? 60. Why is it heating up? What is going on? What? It's a 63, 55, 56, yeah. It goes from 56 to 29 to 12. How does it heat up going from 35C? How does it heat up? Like the actual temperature in this bad boy is like -1. And don't get me wrong, I love the fact that it's turning into ice and snow. That's great. But jeez, man, come on. Give me a break. All right, unfortunately, I need to go get coffee and I need to use the restroom. So I shall return right after these few messages. Say satanic panic. Oh, yeah, we'll get into that if you guys want. But I am going to go take a break. So I'll be right back. Stand by. We shall return with more right here after these few messages from our break screen. Yeah, this is one I want right here. Come at me, bro.
Yes,
Boom.
fucking own it.
Ooh, yes, that's good stuff. Woo-wee. Sweet pickle. Finally.
We took explosive charges from salvaged alien grenades and strapped them to a solid fueled rocket engine. Humans, man. Freaking humans. If we thought a rock strapped to a rocket engine would give us an advantage, we'd take it. Ash Destroyer, that's what it is. Ash Destroyer, yeah. Let me give you a rewind here.
Get your ash destroyer here, boys. Get your ash destroyer here.
There we go. So. War crime rockets, indeed.
Oh, wow, I actually thought it would kill them. Apparently it did not. Wow, it didn't do shit to the elite. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Here it comes. Yes. Yes.
Alrighty, boys, we're back. And yes, I have a book. I have a book suggestion for you. So here's the deal. I was thinking while I was getting my coffee. Oh, also, cheers. One of the reasons why things are the way they are with progressives in general, because woke really doesn't describe it, because that's just a kind of a stupid meme at this point, but it's progressives. Because in the traditional sense, I would be a progressive. But one of the things that really came to light is that there's a meme that socialists do not love the poor, they hate the rich, which is why they do the things that they do. And an author that really brought this home in a book was George Orwell in The Road to Wigan Pier. And in it, it details, it's by George Orwell, the same guy that wrote 1984. Yeah. Much better book than 1984, by the way. 1984 is still a good book. Well, it's not a good... Let me put this the right way. 1984 is not a good story. It is an absolutely atrociously, horribly told story because of just how the beats go. But it's a great thing to read because of the things that it talks about. Because it's supposed to be depressing. It's supposed to be that way. That's the whole point. You like the Animal Farm better? I agree. I agree with that. But 1984 really does... The reason I like 1984 is because it's allegorical to today's information age than necessarily 1984 than Animal Farm was. Now, Animal Farm is also now more is prevalent because of the things that progs want to do by giving marginalized individuals more rights. So one of the things it details in this is it talks about the British underclass, which most people were during the 1930s? Yeah, 1930s. So yeah, the Left Book Club, a socialist group in England, sent George Orwell to investigate poverty and mass unemployment in the industrial north of England. And one of the things that it really boils down to is the essential fact that socialists hate the rich, they don't love the poor. And I believe, and because most modern progressives on the left are from, like, a lot of the bullshit that they believe is from Marxism, which, you know, socialism derives itself from, they don't love black people. They hate white people. They don't love women. They hate men. They don't love gay people. They hate straight people. And the reason I think this is because if you loved someone, like, let's say gay people, would you tell them that they should go live a hedonistic life devoid of all connection to other humans in the way that things like, you know, oh, they tout gay marriage, but do they actually want gays to be married and be monogamous with one another? Like, is that a thing that's really touted by progressives? No, it's not. And it's just like, it's the same with women. If you loved women, would you tell women that it is not feminist to have children and to be a homemaker? Would you tell them that? No, of course not. That would be ridiculous. Would you tell black people or other marginalized groups that, or would you support the idea that, you know, speaking proper English is acting white? No, of course you wouldn't. This is all dumb shit. This is because they don't love the marginalized. They hate the people that they consider oppressors because it's literally a hate thing. And a bit more forward in its message and warnings. I agree.